What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? This week, we're diving deep into the Monday night showdown between our 2-2 Kansas City Chiefs and the surprising 3-1 Jacksonville Jaguars.
I think you meant Jaguars, Bob. The Chiefs are coming off a dominant 37-20 win over the Ravens, showing signs of life on offense, while the Jaguars just upset the 49ers on the road for their first win against them since 2005.
Oh, shoot. Well, I guess I obviously don't know how to say Jaguars, so we'll break down the Jags roster, strengths, weaknesses, key matchups, and what the experts and fans are saying.
Can the Chiefs make it 3 in a row, or will the Jaguars stop our momentum? Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. From the heart of Kansas City, we bring you Buk and Bob Take on Chiefs Kingdom. I'm Bob.
I'm Buck. We're not fancy analysts.
But we have just as many bad takes. What's up, Buck?
Oh, I'm excited for Monday night, man. I'm cautiously optimistic.
Monday Night Football.
I'm cautiously optimistic. The Chiefs had looked pretty damn good last week, and I just expect that to progress. So, yeah, man, it's been a good week.
Yep. I'm hoping to keep the momentum going, but this Jaguars team, we were asked after the game last week, if we thought the Jags were real, and we told them, hey, we don't know, but we have done research now, and we do know a lot about them now, and so the Jags got a new. This is messing me up really bad. The Jags got a new head coach in Liam Cohen, and he was formerly the OC for Tampa Bay for 2 years prior to this, and then but prior to that, the Rams. So I think he was the offensive coordinator when the Rams were, lighting it up. So he's revamped the entire team almost. I mean, they 24 of their 53-man roster is freaking new players. So this team is completely different from the team we played last year. The only thing that'll be the same in Jacksonville is the hot tubs that are up on the stands. Those are so cool.
Oh, yeah. Those are awesome.
So cool. I loved how Matt McMullen, the head Chiefs reporter, he's like, I'm going to go up there. And when they showed it, when he was headed up there was a ton of hot girls in there in thongs and just gorgeous girls. And then when Matt got in, it was a bunch of kids. It's like, well, Matt, you're just a little late there, bud. Just a little late.
Well, listen, in honor of my father, I just feel it necessary to correct people on the right way to say Jaguar. That was his favorite car. And when I said Jaguar as an early teen, he was like, it's Jaguar. So, my father sadly passed before we started the show, so he wasn't able to see that I'm able to do this. So in honor of him, I just thought I'd, kind of pass it along. Brian has some very interesting takes on how to pronounce Jaguars. But.
Well, okay, so yeah, do you have anything to add to like what I was just talking about the Jags?
Yeah, so I mean,
how they're different from last year.
I mean, I haven't. My memory is the Jags of old, who just can't get out of their own way. And say what you want about their play on the field, they're 3-1 at this point, so they need to be respected. But Trevor Lawrence, did you know that he was a number one pick? I didn't know he was a number one pick.
I really didn't. I think in the back of my head, maybe.
I mean, I knew he was first round, and I knew he was probably top
I knew
5
he was
or
first
10,
round. I didn't know he was first. Because I mean, before we did this podcast, we didn't watch the entire draft. We had timers set for when the Chiefs would make their pick, and we'd jump on 3 picks prior. That was how we did it back in the day. But now we're trying to learn as much as we can, and so I know all the stuff about this last draft, but I really didn't know he was a first round pick. I figured top 10, And I just remember
not just first round, but number one. I mean, he was first overall pick. And I got to be honest, I mean, up until right now, what he's given the Jaguars is not impressive. Now, whether that's
it's like
his
hit
fault,
and miss, though, right? It's like hit and miss for him.
He's had games, but when you can't I guess I'm coming from a very spoiled place right now where we didn't even get the number one pick, and we're talking about one of the best quarterbacks of all time to play on our team. So to me, a number one pick should at least match that, if not do better. That's a absolutely ridiculous thing to think of it. But coming from me, a Chiefs fan, a Patrick Mahomes fan, a number one pick I would just think would be a little more productive over his career. Now that could be the coach, could be the play calling, could be the whole, the chemistry of the whole team together. We know how that can change with just one or two players. We've seen it here in Kansas City, and we've seen it all over the NFL. I mean, teams can change very quickly. Look what happened to the Patriots after Tom Brady left.
Well, it seems under this new head coach, it is changing quite a bit. There's reports of still some problems in the locker room and in the back office, but it seems like he's trying to address those, and they're coming out hot, and they're coming out hot a little differently now. They have this Travis Etienne, right?
Etienne.
Yeah, I don't know how to say his name, but he's basically their main running back, and he's leading the NFL in carries over 10 yards through these first 4 weeks. And I mean, they're basically giving Trevor a little more time and a little more help from the run game, making play action easier, making those types of things easier. But I think Trevor is still someone we could pressure. We'll talk about that when we talk about like strengths and weaknesses and things to watch. But Travis, how do you say it?
Etienne.
Travis Etienne. Yeah. So I looked him up because I was like, is he a rookie? Right? And dude, so in 2022, he had a 5.1 average, 5 TDs. This was his rookie year, 1,125 yards, right? Then in 2023, he went down to a 3.8 average, but he had 1,008 yards. But so he was leaned on more. But then in 2024, last year, he had 150 carries, 3.7 average, 558 yards. I thought, well, did he get hurt? No, he just he played 15 games. So I was just like, what's the deal here? And then right now, 4 games in, he has 65 carries for 394 yards, 6.1 average, and 2 TDs. His best average he's had so far. So has he figured something out? Has the offensive line changed a bit? These are the things that I was just a little curious about. And I'm guessing the offensive line has changed quite a bit because they have 24 new players on the 53-man roster.
Yeah, you really got to think it's the offensive line. And I think that this kind of player, Travis Etienne, is the kind of guy that we here in Kansas City can kind of appreciate. I mean, that's kind of been one of the conversation pieces, is really having a strong, dominant number one running back would absolutely change the entire structure of this offense, which I believe is, like I kind of said earlier, I think the offense is on an upward trajectory, and that's exciting to me because the offense did really good. But I mean, if you could imagine a guy that could average 6.1 yards per carry, running the ball, first and second, probably third down, it wouldn't hurt to have, Kareem Hunt stick around for those third downs. I still trust him for those, but man, that would be amazing. Not to take away from what Pacheco has done for us. I appreciate him. I love him. He's not that caliber of player.
Yeah, well, and so this is the beauty of having chat, and we trust chat, and chat helps us through things. And so looks like Bigsby was stealing a lot of carries from him. And it seems like the old coaching regime, looking for the stats and stuff, might have like kind of given up on him, and it seems like the new head coach coming in here, Liam, has been like, no, we have confidence in you. We're gonna bring you back. You were a 1,000-yard rusher. Let's show the world what you have. And I mean, he's only 60 some yards away from his total yards all season last year right now. So he's definitely looking good.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch him, see what he can do in person.
Do you want to talk a little bit about their wide receivers and tight ends? Because I had their tight end last year in fantasy.
Yeah, so wide receivers, tight ends, Calvin Ridley, Christian Kirk, Evan Engram. He's on my team. Or actually, no, I dropped him last week.
Yeah, he was on my team last year.
Brian Thomas Jr. So Ridley and Kirk are fairly reliable pass catchers. They've got some moves. I'm really excited to see what Spags draws up against this offense. I was seriously impressed what he was able to get against Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, and I really think that that's going to be one of the tougher game plans to have to come up with. So I think they're coming off strong, and they've got some momentum. They don't have any huge, like Tyreek Hill. Oh man, sorry Tyreek, buddy, but they don't have.
We'll be talking
any,
about that later.
Yeah, we don't have any, or they don't have the big time wide receiver. So I mean, they're really looking for, to spread the ball out. Try to find the open guy and go to the guys that they trust.
But I mean, it's a pretty solid group, though.
It is.
I would say our receiving core just trumps them by leaps and bounds.
Leaps and bounds is a bit of a stretch, but I do agree that they are superior. Once Rice comes back, I would agree that it's, leaps and bounds. But I think right now, we've only seen Worthy back for one game, and it was obvious they tried to get the ball to him quite a bit and early and often, which is awesome, and he looked fantastic. But I'm not 100%. The risk for re-injury is still a valid point to consider. And I'm not completely 100% sure that he can do that on a game-by-game basis.
I'm not super worried about it now after watching him. He took something we talked about last year about him. I noticed about halfway through the year, maybe 3/4 through the year, I noticed he was missing balls. But he was missing balls because he was keeping himself safe from injury, which was interesting to me. I was like, you know what? This is actually smarter. And I'm going to finish this statement here in just a second. But Brian Parrott in chat reminds everybody, please like this. Please like it, share it out. If you're on Facebook, X, wherever you're watching this is streaming to like 7 different locations. Share it out. Tell your friends. Get more people in here. Let's get it going. Like. All right. But, yeah, so Worthy, turns out I found out today, watching the Rich Eisen show, Worthy came on and interviewed. Did you know this was Worthy's first game he's ever missed in his entire life? Like, the first time he's ever missed games in his entire life.
Oh, with this injury?
Yeah. First time he's ever been injured in his entire life. I did not know that.
Amazing.
Yeah. And so when he got injured, he was like, something feels wrong. I can't get up. What's going on? And he got helped up. And then he was just like, wait a second, I have to miss the game? Like, it was a completely new and foreign experience for him, which really
a shock.
Yeah. It's like, but that's why he wanted to get back in. He said it was horrible sitting out, but that makes me realize that he knows how to not get hurt. And something I saw and mentioned on the podcast multiple times last year, that I realized the reason he wasn't getting these sideline catches is because he was keeping himself safe. And I was like, you know what? I actually think that's better, because if he gets a great catch but he gets hurt, who cares? He's gone. You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather him not get the catch, keep himself safe. So I think with the training staff thinking he's good and him like continuing to keep himself safe, I saw him take different falls that you would take differently. I think he's going to be okay.
I sincerely hope so. But what I saw last week, I mean, yeah, if he's falling down a different way to protect himself for the long term, I've got no problem with that. But he took some hits. I mean, he got slammed down to the ground, and I couldn't tell which shoulder he kind of landed on, but he landed on his side, and that was early on in the game, and that didn't slow him up. I mean, he took a couple of hits.
It's interesting. Witchy Hall in chat says that he played with a broken hand his last year in Texas.
Interesting.
So
he did have an injury, but he didn't miss.
He straight up said he's never been injured. That was his statement, his quote, not mine.
Maybe he just meant he's never missed a game for injury.
Because, I think maybe what he meant to say was he's never missed a game because of injury. Thank you for that. That's
a cool stat, though.
Yeah,
that's a cool thing.
Yeah, thank you for letting us know. Richie. So their defense is scary, okay? But we have to watch. Travion Walker's been moving around from questionable to doubtful to questionable to doubtful. Travion Walker is going to be the pass rusher. If he's out, we have a lot easier time. If he plays, I mean, I don't know what how bad the wrist injury that he has is, but I mean, a wrist injury could be pretty rough. But at the same time, they could split it up, and maybe it doesn't even.
And if he doesn't play 100%, he's still better than what their option is to replace him. Yeah.
Yeah. So if he plays, that's scary. But these guys are turning the ball over constantly. So that's something the Chiefs are going to need to watch. They're punching the ball out. They're intercepted. They're leading the league in turnovers. Something like 9 turnovers in 4 weeks. I mean, it's absolutely nuts. The good thing is the law of averages says that can't continue.
It continued for an entire season for the Chiefs, it seems, last year. So that, I mean, it could be momentum. It's something that we hope doesn't happen. But, as a whole, they still rank in the bottom third, though. Their defense as a whole is still, and that's per ESPN, by the way. That's not just me pulling it out of my ass, although I do.
Yeah, you're talking about. But are you going to see those stats are always rough? Are you yes. going by yards? Are you going by scoring? Because the Chiefs were one of the best D's last year in the NFL for scoring, for holding teams down to low scores. But they gave up a ton of yards. They were more middle of the pack with yards. So when you say the best defense, you have to specify what it is.
Yeah, I didn't take note of that. My guess is we're talking about yards because that's usually what. And I think
that's a silly one to go by, in my opinion.
I mean, the Chiefs have
scoring
given up a lot of yards.
If they
been
give
able
up,
to keep teams from scoring the touchdowns a lot. So
yeah, if they give up yards, but then they intercept it in the end zone, is that really a bad defense? But it's debatable. It's very semantics. So defenses are hard to judge because there's the bend don't break. There's the shutdowns. It's very hard to judge. But I think that's basically our little overview of the Jags and what we have found researching them. They're a completely new team. It's completely different from the team we played in, I believe, the preseason. Last year we played them in the preseason, I think. I'm not sure. I don't think it was the regular season because that would make no sense that we.
Yeah, no, I don't. I'm pretty sure they didn't play in the regular season.
Yeah, I remember the hot tubs and just feeling bad for Matt because he was going up there to those hot girls, and then he just had a whole bunch of kids in there with him.
Yeah.
I bet his wife was happy, though.
They showed that hot tub 3 or 4 times before he was up there. And then he's like, I'm going up there for my next interview. And they're like, all right, girls, get out. Kids, come here. This is going to be awesome. Do you want to be on TV?
I think there's a few of them. So maybe he went to the kids one to not be controversial or not upset his wife. So it could have been that. I think there's multiple ones. I'm not sure, but I just thought it was so funny. They were like, he's headed up there. They're showing all the hot girls, and then they show him, and he's in there in his clothes. Was the best part. He's in pants, and he's like in the hot tub, up to his waist.
That was awesome.
You get it, man. You get it. But yeah, do we have anything from Chad about the overview of the Jags before we get into like Jags strengths? I think you started one, didn't you?
Yeah, I started one earlier. Salty veteran, though. This is a good one. The Jags have mostly been feasting on subpar teams. Niners are sort of the exception, though. They're injury plagued. I mean, they lost to the Bengals in, what was that, week 2, I believe? And is that the game Joe Burrow got hurt in? I'm sorry to bring that up, Bob. I really am.
It is, yeah. That's the game he got hurt in. And then the backup came in and went nuts and has not went nuts since. Like he like it's that whole thing where backups come in, no one's prepared for it, and they do good. The Chiefs
know how to handle it.
I can't tell you how many over the decades, how many times I've watched the backup come in and be like, great, we lose, great, we lose. This sucks, you know. But once they got that tape, he has struggled every game since. But yeah, they beat the Texans in a pretty low scoring game, and the Texans have not looked great. We're starting to see, you know, forget the quarterback's name. We're starting to see
Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, we're starting to see. Is it Trevor Lawrence? No. The Texans quarterback.
Oh, the Texans.
We're starting to see him. He's not as
Stroud.
Yeah, he's not as good as people were thinking. Then the Panthers. I don't know anything about the Panthers this year. And then the Niners. The Niners have just so many injuries and everything's just all over the place there. So yeah, it isn't like they've shown it with a bunch of like really good teams, whereas the Chiefs have played really good teams in the ones that we have lost. So I don't think it's. I think the record at this point. Someone asked us that. I think the record does not show how good the team is. I think the team's probably a little bit more mediocre than the record shows. So,
just like we think that the Chiefs' record probably isn't very indicative of how good they are or will end up being. But you know that's why they play the game. That's if you play the game on paper and just say, well, this team is way better, they're obviously going to win, then this league would suck and we wouldn't be doing this podcast. We both did it there. All right. And salty again, man. Brian Thomas has serious butterfingers this year, too, and Travis Hunter has been meh. That's a whole lot of truth there with Travis Hunter. Now, here's my fear with him.
He's been hit and miss, though. He
has been hit.
He's been doing better because of the run game.
He's had some hit on the defensive side. I've seen a couple of highlights, and so his ceiling is pretty high, I believe. I just don't think he's really comfortable in this league yet. I think things could get better for him. I don't think it's going to happen.
How long is he going to need to be comfortable? He's been in the league for like 7 years, hasn't he?
Travis Hunter?
Crazy?
Are we talking about
Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
I was thinking you were talking about the quarterback. Trevor Lawrence.
No.
Trevor Lawrence, Travis Hunter, they kind of go together.
When he gets his feet down and comfortable and the game starts to slow down for him, I think he'll be dangerous. And if they decide to use him on offense, I think he could be just as dangerous there. But I think they're focusing more on defense right now. Do you know that by chance?
Travis Hunter is definitely the more focus. He's more focusing on defense right now, which is what they should do. He's like in packages on offense. Like I've got him on fantasy, but he's probably like the next guy that I'll drop. No, he's one of those guys. Like I've got Rashard Smith there on fantasy, and I've got Tyquan Thornton. Like they're kind of sitting there. Like I feel like they could break out. They could break out, but I'm not planning on it. And they're going to be like a drop, at some point. But
I have Worthy on my team, and I, like an ass, left him on my bench. I wanted to see what he brought to the table for a week before I put him on there, and I still won my game, so it's not a big deal. But I hate to leave points on the table.
Yeah. But Travis, I don't know. I think he's been pretty pretty dang good on the defense, but I don't know that we really have to worry about him on offense. And Trevor Lawrence has been just kind of like he has struggled with the deep pass, which I think our corners lock him down pretty good, but the Jags, they do have some pretty good strengths. Like their run game is good, but I think we could stop it. Like I don't think it's like all world. If we can shut down the Ravens run game.
I was just gonna say the Ravens run game is pretty good.
Yeah, I feel like we're gonna be just fine.
Yeah,
but their defense is scary. Their defense is scary, and yeah.
I just don't think we're going to see the same defense this week from Spags, because I think there was a lot. I mean, there were a lot of blitzes. I say a lot. There were at least 2 or 3 different blitzes that nobody has absolutely nobody has seen. They don't have it on tape. They were complete surprises to the Ravens. So it's something that they've been performing in practice, but they've never put it on film. It's never been in a game, never been in a recorded practice. Or a recorded training session, whatever.
Wait, what are you talking about?
There were Spags blitzes against the Ravens, and
we're talking about the Jags strengths, though, right now.
I know. That's where I'm going. My point is, I don't think we're going to see the same defense against the same strategy on defense against the Jags that we saw against the Ravens. I think that was just a special kind of strategy that Spags had drawn up just for Lamar. I'm not saying we won't see a lot of sacks. I'm not saying we won't see the same success. I'm just saying I think what we'll see is going to be a defense geared more towards a traditional, pocket quarterback with a really good running game kind of defense.
I'll agree with you on a little bit. Okay, so it was very weird to see Spags in a base 4-3 for the majority of the game. The base 4-3 has 2 defensive tackles, 2 defensive ends down. They're the 4 down linemen. Then they have 3 linebackers. Spags usually likes to play the nickel, where he has 2 linebackers, and instead of that 3rd linebacker, he has a safety in there. That's Spags' bread and butter. But we played almost all 4, 3, and 3 linebackers, which is what got Leo Chanel in the game way more than normal, which was awesome. But I think Spags figured out something. He's like, you know what?
This could work.
Bolton is amazing in stopping the run. He ain't so good in protection in the backfield. He's not amazing at coverage. But you know what he is also good at besides stopping the run? Rushing and spying that passer. I mean, I think Steve was just like, you know what? It's time to use Bolton for some stuff Bolton can do really good. And Bolton, I think, continues his blitzing, which is, going to be a little bit different from what we've seen in the past. But like, it wasn't different from what we saw from him in his rookie and sophomore year. Bolton was doing that a lot, and something changed up. I don't know what it was, but it kind of just fell off. I think that continues. I don't know if we'll be in the base. See a lot.
I guess that was my next question. Do you think we'll see more of the base 4-3?
I do, because of their dominant run game, and just Leo Chanel really, getting into coverage. I mean, like, we've thought of Leo as more of a kind of like Leo could probably play a 3-4 outside edge rusher pretty well, and we've thought of him as more of a blitz guy and a run stopper guy, but boy, he's just showed us that he's a man of multiple talents after this last week. So I think the base 4-3 comes back for this game, but we're kind of off topic a little bit.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what they bring. I really was convinced that was just a special something different to bring to the table to confuse Lamar and the offensive coordinator. And if that's what it was, then it worked great. But if that's something that Spags thinks that maybe he's unlocked something different that could work, I'd love to see it. It was fun to watch this defense last week. It really was.
Yep. And Salty Veteran says, basically what I was saying, that Bolton's a good run stopper and blitzer, but he catches heat for the pass coverage. He does catch a lot of heat, but his pass coverage isn't like god awful. Like, he actually is rated via PFF pretty high compared to other middle linebackers. So it's kind of, I don't know. It's kind of I don't know. There's a lot to take there, but he definitely, his strengths are, he's an S+ blitzer and run stopper, and he's probably a B in coverage. I saying he's a C is kind of pushing it. Like, but he's not elite in coverage in any way. That I have to admit. But I think that Spags kind of caught on to something that he could really use against multiple quarterbacks. And the big thing, Trevor Lawrence, so he's been doing the quick passes, which he's been like doing long, sustained drives. He hasn't really been, getting it long. He hasn't been getting the deep ball, but he's been very efficient in the short game. So just making him throw as fast as possible is probably a smart deal for our Chiefs. I think you get that rush in immediately, and it's gonna help because he still has to throw it quick.
I think that favors the Chiefs, honestly. You give the Chiefs time, you give the Chiefs defense time to learn, kind of learn the tendencies and learn the strategy that's going offensively for the Jags. I think that plays into Spags' hands, and we'll see more mistakes or more big plays on the Chiefs side. So I love that. I mean, I think the deep threat is something that could hurt this team. We just haven't seen.
I don't think
a lot
Trevor Lawrence is really. I don't think I don't think their offense is really wanting to build that. It's just not their thing, and so that
sucks for Jag fans, man, because that's boring.
Well, but it makes it so Spags can run the single high safety a lot. Where, for anybody that doesn't know what single high safety is, it's just where you have one safety in zone in the back of the field instead of double high safety where you have two safeties in zone at the top of the field. And it gives you an extra player down to stop the run and down to stop the short passes. But they're also looking at that too. So maybe they're looking to pull, a new thing out, and show us that they can do the deep pass. So we know Trevor Lawrence can do it. We've seen it in the past, but it looks like that's not what they're capitalizing on this season.
I'll be excited to see what they come up with.
The other thing that is a strength for them is home field momentum. And it's going to be Monday Night Football at EverBank, and they're on a 3-1 start, which gives their fans a whole lot of confidence. Their fans are going to be in it. And if they get some big plays on us early, it's going to be rough. We need the Chiefs to come in and take the crowd out of it fast. Like, we need a turnover or a long TD, and then a stop right after the long TD. Something to take the wind out of the sails of the crowd, in my opinion.
I can't agree with you more. Although the Chiefs, I want to say historically, I just tried to look it up real quick, but I wasn't getting the search words. But I know that the Chiefs have lost more at home over the last few years than they've lost on the road. So I don't really necessarily consider a road game the biggest issue for the Chiefs. I think they play really well on the road. And they have a lot of fans that travel. I mean, we hear that, home of the Chiefs pretty much every game. Some stadiums are louder than the others, but I just home field advantage, I think, is a bigger advantage for some teams more than others. And I think the Chiefs make that less of a thing in most of their away games.
Yep. And it looks like Salty Veteran seems to agree with me that we're going to continue the blitz, especially against this team. And I think it's going to be against a lot of the run heavy teams that we're going to run this style of defense. But guys, get your questions in. Make sure you put question mark in front. We're coming to the end of this, and then we're just going to take questions and some stuff. So get your questions in. We're trying to mark them as we go. Any question that has dollars attached to it definitely gets priority, but you don't have to do that, but it's just money talks, guys. Money talks. So, all right. Jaguars, where were we at? We're at their weaknesses. So, basically, pass protection. We have a definite chance. Their O-line is pretty dang good on the run. Kind of weak in pass protection. Kind of weak. So
if we can get pressure early and stop them for short yardage and make them throw, then we've got a big advantage. And again, I like the way that Spags can kind of learn learn an offense and make I think his. What's the word I'm looking for? Adjustments. His adjustments.
He takes away what they're best at. Best. And he takes away what they're best at and what makes them most comfortable. And that's huge. Absolutely huge.
Absolutely. Or he tries to. He doesn't always do the best job. It's not always a win. But I like our chances here. I really do. We just got to hold Etienne to, say, 50 yards. I mean, what was it? The running back for the Ravens ended with 4 for 31. What was it? What's that guy's name? The King Henry.
Oh, he actually was pretty dang good. Like he had like a 6.0 average, but we just took him out of the game because they were behind. Yeah,
absolutely.
Like if they would have kept going with him and just like stop and took a breath, we could have been in trouble, and that's what we don't want the Jags to do. We don't want them to do that at all. So what do you got here? What do you got on like their red zone's kind of rough though too, right?
Yeah. So lots of drops. Sloppy penalties, which can absolutely kill a team. We've seen that with games of the Chiefs. The penalties can hurt a lot.
And it's hurt them a lot this season so far, in the red zone specifically.
Yeah, and if they're getting frustrated at home, that's that enhances that too. So I think it's important. You got personalities like Chris Jones that isn't afraid to push buttons, that kind of thing. Get in their face a little bit and frustrate them. Those penalties could add up really quick, and that'll be great for the Chiefs. And they've been inconsistent overall. I mean, they've had good stretches, but they just can't keep it going. And that's important, to finish drives. The Chiefs, the last couple of weeks, have kind of started off slow, where they're able to drive that ball down the field, but then they had to settle for field goals. So, scoring in the red zone is important, and you have to be able to do that consistently to win in this league. And I think the Chiefs right now are playing like the kind of team that you have to go out and play your best ball or some of your best ball and really be able to be consistent. So if the Chiefs can keep that pressure on there, cause some penalties, cause some third and longs, make them throw the ball deep where they're not able to do that very well. I mean, I think this is a slam dunk, but the slam dunks are usually the ones that break your heart. So I'm trying not to be too confident.
And we're lucky in the sense that there's still problems of like, there's reports from, the NFLPA that there's still lack of listening from the players, from the coaches. Like the coaches are talking to the players and they don't want to hear it. Kind of a weak culture still at the moment, but Cohen is working hard at addressing that, but they're not there yet, which we are strong like bull, as far as Chiefs culture. So we got that there, and they're not experienced in big slots. Like, they don't get a ton of primetime games. Like, the Chiefs get a ton. We've been doing it. It's like another, just another Monday night game for us. Like, we do this all the time. Yeah. We didn't used to. I remember just being like, when will we have a Monday night game? But we get them all the time now. It's just like, it's just another day at the office, whereas the Jags don't have as much of that experience under the bright lights. So that helps us there too.
This is a big game for them, and it's just like you said, it's another day at the office.
Yep. We wrote up some like key matchups to watch, but we've really covered them all in this talk so far. So I think we can open it up to questions. I've got a few marked, but we have a 5-bomb coming in from JCP 4000. Julian, how you doing, brother? It's my dog park buddy that I've
one of your dog park buddies.
Well, yeah, but I met him through the All Chiefed Up meetup is where we met him. I think you met him too. Him and his wife and his two boys were there. They were sitting right to the left of us. Might have been to your right if you were across from me. The table right there.
I think I was, yeah. But and Mel was talking to his wife for a while.
Oh yeah, a bunch. Yep, a bunch.
Yep, I definitely remember.
Yep. So he says for the remaining games, which game do you think Mahomes will throw for the most yards? Oh crap! I got to look up the schedule.
I got the schedule right here, buddy.
But you paid $5, so we're doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So Detroit, that's going to be a tough game. Vegas. Oh, he could light it up in Vegas. Well, that one's here, so light it up against Vegas. Washington, Buffalo. Then we got a bye. Then we got.
I got
Denver.
my answer. I got my answer.
Indianapolis, Dallas. Ooh. Okay. You want to go first?
Sure.
All right, go first.
Buffalo Bills. Our defense is great, but Josh Allen finds a way, and he is clutch. Unlike Lamar Jackson, he is clutch, and he's the quarterback I would want if we didn't have Mahomes. And I think it's going to be a shootout. I think it's going to be a shootout of days of old, and it's going to be,
that's
like
historically what we see against the Bills,
like 42-40 or something. Just something crazy where they've had to go for a 2-point, we've had to go for a 2-point, a different, like just a weird score. Right? I think it's going to be
game.
Yep, like the 13-second game, and I think that's the one where we really light it up. We'll have Rashee Rice back. I mean, it'll be sick. That's what I think.
So for me, it's going to be one of two games. I was looking for the game in Las Vegas. Sadly, that's Week 18. So if the Chiefs are in the hunt for the playoffs still in Week 18, then I like Las Vegas in Las Vegas for the last game of the season to make it to the playoffs. I don't think that's going to happen, but if that does happen, that's the game I'm picking. If not, I think Week 13, which is the Thanksgiving game against Dallas. Now that's going to be in Dallas, but it's going to be a Thanksgiving game, and which Dallas does every single year. But I think Mahomes will go out there and absolutely light it up.
So my reasoning is, the reason I think the Bills will be Mahomes' highest, yards and of that nature is because I think it's going to be a shootout. If we go out and we just destroy the Cowboys right off the bat, Andy Reid goes into I'm a decent person mode and does it. Like, I couldn't even believe the kill shot that he let happen. When Pat threw that last TD to Hollywood Brown. I mean, that was a kill shot, and Andy does not do that often at all. We talked about it. We were like, whoa, and then
that was totally out of character.
Yeah, he even put all the backups in and let them score a big long run at the end because he felt bad. I mean, the guy's a decent guy, but he doesn't have that. He doesn't have that
killer
evil
instinct.
streak. Yeah, he isn't evil like some of the other coaches, where they just want to be like, you are nothing but a boot. You're a
Or
bug
maybe
that I squish.
Maybe he just decided to make a change this season, and that was the first game that he was able to run it up, and we're just going to see that from now on. I'm cool with that.
I don't know. I do know that the Chiefs players have there's a new slogan. Everybody's got to eat, I think is how it goes. E, B, G. I don't know. They've been tweeting it out, though. Everybody's got to eat, or everybody's going to eat, or something like that. And I think it's a good thing. Andy Reid talked about it in the presser today. He was like, we have a good thing going right now because we have a lot of really good pass catchers, and they're all rooting for each other instead of being jealous of each other. Mm-hmm. And he didn't use the word jealous. I'm inferring that, but he's saying sometimes players stop. He did say sometimes players stop playing when they're upset about that type of thing. But these guys are rooting each other on. And he goes, that's a hard thing to find. It's an awesome thing to have.
It really is.
And so that's the type of culture that Andy's brought. And that's why that's my head coach, man. I still remember the day he came and I was like, are you kidding me, Andy Reid? Oh my God.
It's just a whole different era as fans of the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, I loved the Chiefs before Andy Reid, but man, I love the Chiefs with Andy Reid. I absolutely rue the day that he has to go and retire. But I'm just hoping he just keeps doing it. I mean, Pete Carroll's in his 70s and he's coaching, so come on, Andy, you got plenty of years left. Ride out the Mahomes era.
Yeah, I don't think Andy has any plan. The only thing that would stop him is just not being able to do it. But Andy, you need to get more sleep. Stop with his 4-hour-a-night shit. Like, he leaves generally around 1 or 2 a.m. and gets in around 5 to 6 a.m.
I know, people do that and live Andy, I want you to lives.
I want you to live forever. So stop it. But yeah, it was a great question. What else we got here? We got Noel Williams
continues to be my favorite defensive player. Just tone setting over and over. That's from Julian again.
Yep, and I love being right. This is lots of these rookie things. I'm right, and I love it. I love being wrong when it's something that is bad for the team. I'm like, please prove me wrong. But I love being right about this. And everybody was telling us we were crazy about all these rookies. And I'm like, dude, I'm telling you. And when I can't remember exactly, did I say mid-season Noel was going to be the starter? I thought he was going to be the starter over Jalen Watson, and Fulton would be the other one on the outside. But it turns out Fulton just can't keep healthy. And it's Jalen Watson and Noel's getting more and more every time and looking like he's going to be the outside corner, maybe the number one. I mean, ranked PFF, insane. He's ranked unbelievably high. He was second going into last week. I don't know what he is now. I didn't look that up. I should.
I believe now. I don't quote me on this, but I listen to a lot of the radio, and I'm pretty sure on Monday they said he is the highest ranked.
The number one?
Yeah. But don't quote me on
right.
That.
Happy dance. Happy dance.
Man, I love being wrong. There's no chance that I thought he was going to be this good. Not even a chance.
Well, but
very
it wasn't
early.
Fair to you, though. You didn't get to go to all the training camp that I do. Like, unfortunately, the media, they put out all these highlights and these tweets and everything. But they don't give you the whole story. Like, they give you the story that they want to give you, but there were so many things that weren't mentioned. And I'm not even trying to throw shade at them. They're trying to get clicks. They're doing this for a job. They're trying to get clicks. They're trying not to lose their job. No clicks, no job. Whereas us, we do this as a hobby. We can afford to say things outside of the box. It is really unfair to them, but they just don't cover they cover the things that the people want to hear about. And that's just the way it is. And so, yeah, I've been high on him since researching him after we drafted him, and I'm excited that I'm right about this, because I really was starting to think, I was like, dude, I'm just crazy. This is the first time I've went to training camp. I think all 7 rookies are good. I must be an idiot, and it just feels good to actually, be right about a lot of shit, man. It's just but
it's just crazy to think
it's work. I've done a lot of research too.
Yeah, it's just crazy to think that the Chiefs are going to have, if he continues on this journey, the Chiefs will have that much talent, young talent, really good talent. It's just scary, man. Well, I feel bad for the rest of the NFL. I mean, it's just another proving point for Brett Veach that he's really damn good at his job.
You said something when we were watching the game. It was when Noel almost got the pick. You go.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Noel looks like, I forget exactly how you said it. It was better than this.
He turned around and he turned himself into the receiver.
Yeah,
and
that's
he
what
did
you
it
said.
Out of instinct. It was like watching a 5-year veteran. It was like watching Sherman in his heyday. He instinctually knew exactly where to turn. He could tell by the receiver that he was covering, and he became the receiver immediately. And if it wasn't for the receiver being as good as he was to realize that he had to turn over and go on defense, he didn't even try to catch that ball. He was blocking it down. It was unbelievable, man. And
yeah, it was. Well, and when you said that and they showed the replay, I was like, oh, you're right. It looks like Noel's the wide receiver and the receiver is the defender. And it's literally they changed roles because his coverage was so good. And I was just like, damn, okay. Like, and I wonder if he played. I'm sure he probably played receiver in high school. He probably played
a lot of those
both.
Guys.
Yeah, he probably played both. But
yep.
I was like, damn, that's a good statement. You got, like, he quickly turned himself into the receiver. I was like, See, I couldn't remember exactly what you said, but I remember it was better than what I was about to say. It was like much less words, still understandable completely. Whereas I over-explain things. I'm sorry, guys. I do it. I got it from my mom.
It's funny because it's true.
It's funny because it's true.
I mean, I haven't spent as much time with your parents as you have, clearly, but I think you might get a little bit of that from your dad too.
No, my dad doesn't over-explain. I get the talking from my dad.
Talking.
And the ability to talk to anybody is something I learned from him. I can change the way I talk, the way I cuss, the way I do everything to make them more comfortable.
And met Tamba, and your mom showed up, and she came all the way, and we were in the very last booth, and you were like, "Where's Dad?" And she's like, "Oh, he's talking." It took him 15 to 20 minutes to get all the way to us, and he didn't know anybody. He walked in, a stranger to every human being in that place.
Yep.
He could probably tell you all their life stories at this point.
Yep, I definitely got my confidence and my ability to talk to anybody from him, which I'm grateful for both, but I wish I didn't over-explain as much as I do. But you need to know the backstory to understand the story. All right, what else we got here? We got, we got Brian. There's a bunch of people talking about Noel. Noel, we're excited for him. What about this one? From ACG's fan.
Maybe a good offensive head coach, but sure doesn't know who to pick a fist fight with. Who did he get in a fist fight with?
So, dude, you didn't see this? Okay, so I guess the Jaguars. No, it's the other coach, but the other coach I think used to be a player. So I didn't watch this, but I heard Nick Wright talking about it.
Another coach on his team that coaches for him.
No,
or an opposing head coach.
An opposing either head coach or offensive coordinator. Basically,
wonder who it was.
Basically, okay, so it was the Jags.
Oh, which he said, Robert Saleh.
Chet. Yeah. Chet, correct me if I'm wrong here, but
he's a bad dude.
The Jags were called out. So Liam used to work with the guy that he called out. The guy that called out Liam used to work with Liam, and he said that they legally steal hand signals. Andy Reid was asked about this during the pressers today, and it was like, dude, if you put a hand signal out there, people are going to learn it, and if you always do this, pat on your head, and you're going to cover two, then they're going to know you're going to cover two.
Yep.
It's like that's not really the thing.
And it doesn't take long. I mean, these people are smart.
they were friends, and they're kind of like friends that have become brothers, and they're kind of like brotherly fighting type of deal. And he was like, it was hilarious because Andy goes, they'll be okay. They'll be okay. Like, it was like, it was one of the times that Andy actually said something that was actually like, whoa, he actually opened up there instead of just saying, yep, they're a good offense, they're a good defense, they can do a lot of good things on special teams, they're going to be a tough opponent this week. You know, like, it was, he actually got pulled out. And if you guys have I almost clipped it for tonight. If you have a chance, like, watch his one from today. It was actually great. But yeah, so I guess he said some crap to him, and then one of them said, keep my name, I think Liam said, keep my name out your mouth. But he did it after he was behind like 3 of his offensive or defensive linemen. You know, kind of like where you like, get on, hold me back, you know, and you get behind your friend and you're like pretending that they're holding you back. Like, It was kind of like that type of deal. Like, there's no way he was going to win that, but I don't know. I didn't see it, and I've just heard about it, so I don't really know exactly.
Let me share this image here real quick. Oh, where'd it go?
Brian still wants Andy's head.
This is Robert Saleh, the guy that he called out. I don't think he's still a coach for the Niners, but yeah, he's a head coach for the Jets. But,
well, no, Robert Saleh called out Liam for stealing hand signals, I think.
Oh, I thought I heard it the other way around.
Was it?
Because
okay,
I
the
heard
other
it on
way
the
around?
radio, but it was. I could be wrong. But that dude is a scary looking dude.
Yeah, I wouldn't pick a fight with him. And if I did, I'd make sure I got the first hit for sure.
Oh yeah, and then hope it's effective.
Yep. In fighting, there's, you know, in real fights, there's no dirty plays. There's just you walking away and not and not getting taken away on a stretcher. Mm-hmm. Real fights are scary. Don't do it. Don't do it. What else we got here? Here we go. This is impossible. If you want to read this one.
Jay-Z says, who has more yards at the end of the day, Hunt or Pop? Who scores the tutty? I think if they're effective at all at running, then Pop's going to have more yards. But I think Hunt probably scores because if they're running on if they're running at the goal line, I think that Hunt's going to get that carry. So, but I think Pop will get more yards, or the run game will be completely shut down and it'll be Mahomes again.
Or we'll have Brashard Smith getting back in there more, and we'll see that rookie start to shine even more.
It's possible. I like his progression so far. It's slow, but it seems to be steady. He looks a little bit better and more comfortable every single game. So it could be. He could fight his way into Pop's spot by the end of the season. Absolutely.
He very possibly could. I mean, it's kind of very similar to the same story of Edwards-Helaire. Edwards-Helaire, pretty good at the beginning, and then Pop came in and was better and more hungry. And Brashard Smith shows us broken tackles, man. He's a dynamic player, and we don't have running backs that break tackles. I mean, Kareem, we saw him breaking tackles last year, but he hasn't had the chance to do it since Pacheco came back. Like, they're not really giving him. They're giving him short yardage for the majority of the time. So, yeah, I think if we're talking about TDs, Hunt gets if we're 2-1, our second and goal on the 1 or the 2, Hunt's getting that ball, or it's play action to Hunt and we're tossing it to somebody. So, yeah, I think Hunt's the smarter play in fantasy. All right, so, okay, doesn't look like we have any other questions here. So I've got some stuff I wanted to talk about. First off, let's talk about Tyreek, dude. So Tyreek Hill suffered a major injury, very similar to the Tank Dell injury that he sustained against us when we played the Texans last year. Basically, his knee was turned, his leg part, like his lower leg connected to the knee, was turned completely towards his other foot. His like is basically the best way to describe it. So if you were looking at him, his foot was pointed at his heel, and it was gruesome. As soon as it happened, I was texting people, I was tweeting out, I was like, dude, he's got, like, the reason they rushed him to the hospital, this is just like instantly, like, this was all confirmed the next day, but I just know from different experiences, different things. Like, I have a lot of, nurses and doctors in my family and stuff, and I've heard about different injuries, and this was a possible leg losing injury. There's an artery that runs down through your knee, and if that artery gets ruptured and they don't quickly fix it, there's blood loss to the leg, and it can only sustain for a short time before that leg is no longer viable to save. And so they put him in the air cast right off the bat, and I was getting weird tweets like he was laughing and clapping because he was leaving Miami and he was out, and I was like, dude, he was just trying to save face, man, like, or he was in shock, like, or he didn't understand the severity of the injury, which he is kind of half an idiot, so I do get that. Like,
I think my opinion is it was kind of a little bit of both. I mean, he definitely had to be in shock. When you have an injury like that, how can you not have? I mean, you've been injured before. I had a broken toe. I kicked the vacuum cleaner, had a broken toe, and I mean, I went back to work the next morning. I mean, a broken toe is nothing, but I was in shock. Like, what? I mean, like, I had never had a broken bone before in my life till I was 50 years old, and it was a stupid vacuum cleaner.
That's hilarious.
But I mean,
toe.
It's yeah. I mean,
I've had a few broken bones, along with a broken nose, along with I was a little rough when I was growing up. But so basically, I told everybody that he probably tore every ligament in his knee, which was also confirmed. The ACL, the PCL, the MCL. These type of injuries usually mean career ending. So I told people I don't think he's going to play another down, and if he does, I don't think he ever has a 500-plus season ever again, specifically because of the type of player he is. Well, it turned out that I was, a lot of people agree with me the next day. Like, I watched Microphone's video on it. He did a lot of research, and he said basically the same things I did. Like, the chance of losing the leg was a big scare. On top of it, there's only been a few people that have ever come back and been as successful. Like Jordy, oh gosh, dang it, I should have written this down. Jordy Nelson was one. Julian Edelman was one, and then there was one other. But normally they come back and they, if most of them don't come back, over half don't come back from it. And this is just ACL rips, like complete ACL tears. Okay, which is similar to what happened to Rice, but isn't what happened to Rice. It was a different type of injury, but they rarely come back and do anything but half of what they did ever prior. So, yeah, Tyreek, I think, is done. But Salty Veteran seems to think Tyreek will be back next year. He says reports say surgically repaired everything and no additional surgery is needed. This is true. He was very lucky. I'm sure they brought in the best doctors on earth, but everything was successful, and he didn't need multiple surgeries like initially many people initially thought. So,
do you still stand by your he won't have over 500 yards a season again?
Never again. You
still think that?
Okay. I mean, I would bet $100 on it right now, and like, you'll give you 5 years before you have to pay me back, but. So Tyreek his superpower was his ability to jump almost his entire height. Like, so his feet would be at where his head is at normally when on the ground. Like, it was uncanny. This is what made him one of the best receivers we've ever seen in NFL history. On top of that, as soon as he hit the ground, he could be at full speed within 3 steps. That's what made him amazing. Now, what is interesting, though, is I must misunderstand what good route running means, because I've listened to all these big talking heads, right, on ESPN and stuff, and they're like, well, Jordy Nelson came back because he was a technically superb route runner, and Tyreek's not a great route runner. And I've said so many times, his route running is what makes him good. But I'm specifically talking about the way he varies speed, and the way he can go at just like part speed, but then kick it in. Like his acceleration and varying, where you'll see a lot of these fast guys run at full speed all the time, which is something that, a defender can really hone in on, and then, they could actually hold you down. But Tyreek could vary that speed, and you'll see it in many clips where he kind of like this little hop skip thing, and he takes off, and that was his superpower. But is that not good route running? Did I chat maybe help us out, or I don't understand.
Argue. Yeah, I won't argue about the varying speed thing. I think that gives him an edge over his opponent.
But is that not route running?
To me, a good route runner is when it's drawn up on the chart, right? You're supposed to go 5 yards up and then hard cut left and then cross the field. To me, is you follow that 5 yards, make your cut, and then go over. A bad route runner is going to go up 3.5 to 4 yards and then kind of curve over and then start running over that way, which isn't as crisp, and it's easier to defend. So the whole point of being a good route runner, though, is to be able to get open in the spot that you're supposed to be open in a timely manner. Tyreek Hill's speed and his acceleration has allowed him to be a top-tier route runner, in my opinion. He might not always follow that every crisp little line, but the whole point of those cuts and those crossovers and all of that is to get open in the spot that you're supposed to get open in. Think about the wasp play. The wasp play that happened a few years ago.
Wasp play.
You're not familiar with the wasp play? Okay.
Maybe.
So
like the name doesn't ring a bell. I might know the play if I see it.
Okay,
or something.
so there was a big play. This actually happened in the Super Bowl. The first Super Bowl in 2019 against the 49ers. They were down 20-10. They had just had it was a pass to Tyreek Hill that they called it wasn't caught. And so it was 3rd and 15. And this is where the tide of the game changed, was the jet wasp chip is what it was officially called. Okay. I have video if you'd like to take a look at it and maybe see if something.
You knew I wasn't going to know this. You came prepared, huh?
Yeah. I mean, and it's the most famous play. I mean, even if you did know it, I kind of wanted to put it up there, but I've got it available. Let's open it up.
All right.
And we'll play a few seconds and see if things kind of jump out to you, okay?
Yeah, don't play more than a few seconds at once, because the YouTube copyright crap.
I got you.
Okay.
Oh, here we go. Sorry.
Run Wasp.
All right. Did that part. That's kind of famous for setting it all up. That's a very famous clip that has been played over many, many videos. See, Brian says, Patrick, do we have enough time to run Wasp?
Okay. Yeah. All right. Show me a little more.
All right. Let's see.
Trey right, 3-jet chip, lost, wide funnel. You get open. Both y'all get open. It's such a.
All right. That was
about
right
to say
before
it's
the
such
play.
a long play. So it's a long play.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Gosh,
it is
why
a
can
long
I not
play.
remember this? Oh my gosh, this is upsetting.
the defense was absolutely stifling up until this point in the game. So it was a very frustrating. It was frustrating to watch this game up to this point. But this was the turning tide. It is about to get good. You want to play a little bit more?
Yeah.
All right. Let's skip this part right here.
That pass rush, we're going to have a great protection.
Shotgun snap.
And then here comes the pressure.
They come on the side. He winds up. He throws a long pass. Wide open Hill.
Oh, I remember this play. But what's the significance of the Wasp play?
So the route running is what set that whole play up, and it wasn't just Hill on that play. They had 3 wide receivers on the left-hand side. Actually, I think it was a tight end. I think it was Kelsey and Hill and Nicole. I can't remember who the third guy was. Kelsey's job was to go up towards the middle and cut in and draw that middle safety towards him, and that's what allowed – so Tyreek had to go pretty much straight upfield. He had to cut towards the inside middle for just a second, and that allowed that middle safety to think that he was safe going that direction because now he was kind of covering 2 different receivers, and it was 2 steps towards the middle of the field, and then he cut out left, and they knew they were beat. There were 3 defenders in that area, but we're talking like 20 to 25 yards away, and all they could do was run as fast as they could to him to tackle him. But he made that, and it wasn't the greatest throw in the world. If you watch further into that clip, Mahomes kind of talks about it. He said it wasn't great, but Tyreek is great.
I remember that exact play. I did not remember it was called Wasp. I did not remember that part. But yeah, and that's also another thing that made Tyreek amazing is his vision and his ball tracking in the air. I mean. And then him knowing how high he needed to jump to get it, which meant that he didn't have to run to where the defender was. If the defender had the eye of the ball, you'll see many times where the defender's way upfield, and Tyreek just is like, nope, I'm going to grab it from here. That way I'm going to even be able to get away from you after this. Like, that's what made him crazy good. But here, I kind of want to see, like, the very end of it.
Okay. He didn't go anywhere after that, but look at that. It still took him 3 guys to tackle him. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, man, that's awesome.
Chiefs fans just going crazy. Yeah.
Oh, man.
What an awesome memory, because that was the beginning of the turnaround to our first Super Bowl in 50 years. That brings back memories, man. Thanks for letting me play that.
That's awesome. Well,
listen, though, I'm not done on this Tyreek thing.
All right, here.
Go ahead.
You go. I'm going to go get some water.
All right. I disagree with you. I don't think he's going to be held to under 500 years for the remainder of his career. I don't disagree that his superpower has been to go up and get it wherever it is in the air. He's always had great ups. But you know what else he's got? He's got the ability to catch. He is also a possession receiver, believe it or not. Just because he makes these awesome plays, that man can catch the ball. And that's not something that's going to go away with this leg injury. Let's say he comes back. He's never going to fully trust his knee. If you've ever had an injury, I've never had a broken knee or a busted ACL or anything like that, but I did have arthroscopic surgery on my knee, and that was years ago, and it has felt great. I haven't had any problem, any pain. But I'll tell you what, when I'm walking upstairs, I still have the muscle memory. Like I still remember that pain, and that still lingers in the back of my head. When I'm making choices on things I'm going to do, I have a physical job. I'm always considering, I remember when it popped. I still remember it like it happened 3 minutes ago. And that will never go away. So his ability to jump and really be the Superman that he was, I agree, that will never come back. But he'll still be able to, even at 90 to 95% speed, Tyreek is still going to be one of the faster receivers in the NFL. Even if he can't make multiple cuts and sharp cuts, he's going to be a reliable, think like a Julian Edelman for the Patriots back in the day. A mid receiver that can catch the ball, and he's not afraid to take a hit. I still think Tyreek has some 700 to 900 yard seasons in his future if he's able to come back and play next season like we saw. Because I believe in his ability on the field as a receiver. He doesn't need to be Superman, but I don't think he'll have another 1,000-yard season, but I think 500 is a little bit low.
All right, well, I'm Witchy Hall seems to think Reek's going to be fine. Salty. Oh, refer to my previous comment. Salty Veteran thought he would be fine too. Jay-Z the White thinks he'll come back and still be good, but maybe not exactly the same, but still good. I know Brian Parrott. I was talking to him in DMs, and he also thinks that he's going to be good.
He also thinks I have knee PTSD.
Salty Veteran says that Rice came back from a torn ACL. It wasn't completely torn. It was a very different. I can't tell you exactly how it was different, but it was very different from a complete ACL tear. Also, Rice is a young man; he's not 30. Yeah. So basically, there's a lot of people that disagree with me. I hope for Tyreek's sake that I am wrong, but I believe I'm good. I'm going to be right in the end. We can go ahead and timestamp this, and y'all can be like, Bob, you're just like Bob Stradamus, But it's not. I really don't think it's Bob Stradamus. I think it's. I think it's medical. I think, and it's the fact that he can catch the ball, but there's a lot of people that can catch the ball. I don't think he's going to get the opportunities. You also have to think when he does come back, Roger Goodell's just sitting there like, yeah, yeah, you're back. Time for suspension for that, for his current domestic violence problems. So, we saw Rashee Rice has done everything right and still got 6 games. So even when Tyreek comes back, he's going to have games. So that's the first season that he's back. Maybe if it's next year, wow, that would be amazing. But think about possibly 4 to 6 to 8 games suspension. So that takes yards out of that year. Then the next year, I think I'm gonna be right, and I think that it's over for him, and it's gonna be rough, but. We shall see. He definitely works
hard. Only time will tell.
You could definitely that's definitely a for sure that he works hard, and I hope he improves himself off the field. I hope this maybe could kind of help him jar himself into becoming a little bit of a better. I shouldn't say that because it's alleged, but it's still when it's been alleged 8 different times. It's one of those things where it's like Boy Who Called Wolf, but either way.
Yeah, Salty kind of agrees with me here. Tyreek's calling card is speed and quick twitch reflexes. The best wide receivers aren't necessarily fast, but can get separation through route running. Just look at Jerry Rice, 4.7 40, but still the GOAT. Yeah.
Yep. Also,
yeah,
the white guy on, oh gosh, we almost got him. What was his name? Definitely slow now, but his route running. Cup? Yeah, Cooper Kupp. The route running is amazing. So maybe I was just off on what I called route running. I thought the varying speed was part of route running, everything, but maybe it's just the technique.
I think it is. I absolutely think it is because there's a timing aspect in it too. So if you've got a long route and you're cutting your corners, so you're getting there a little bit quicker, you've got to vary your speed to adjust for that. And Tyreek had to pull up for a lot of passes that were a little bit short in his day just because of his speed. So
a little bit long.
You're definitely not wrong about that. I think the great receivers are able to, if they know they're taking a little bit extra time to get to that, and they can turn it up. The great ones do. So
Yep. Brian has Brian in chat has a request.
Can we nickname Rashee Jury Rice?
That's pretty good. I've always been a fan of Rice, baby, boom, 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 boom. But yeah, Jury Rice is pretty dang good. Yeah, it's pretty that's good.
He's had a couple comments that we haven't. But I can always count on you for a good laugh, Brian.
Yep.
So Saturday is going to be fun. Should we
Oh yeah, let's talk about
Saturday.
Yeah.
Saturday, we're meeting up 6:00 with Brian Parrott. We're going to meet at Freddie T's. It's at 151st and I-69 in downtown. Well, I guess Stanley.
I think it's 69 Highway. I don't think it's an interstate.
Oh, whatever. 69. Anybody that's
hey, you got on me for Jaguars. Come on. I
so
said it wrong,
6:00
dang it.
Saturday night. Anybody that would like to show up, we would love to see you. Have a drink, have a bite to eat, maybe sing some karaoke. Depends on how much I have to drink.
I'm gonna sing at least "Picture" with Mel.
With Mel,
I put your picture away.
I might sing that same song, both parts by myself.
It would actually be kind of hard.
I've got a killer falsetto.
I think you should do.
I don't want to brag, but
you should do. I'll think about it. I think you should do
come
it.
up with a good one.
Yeah.
Anything Pearl Jam, anything Pink Floyd. I'm your man. Nirvana. I'm pretty good with Nirvana too.
Okay. I could do anything Billy Joel. I could do any deep voice country one. If you want me to?
Lame.
Yeah. Come on. Yeah, Brian says it's US 69. I think it's 69 Highway. I think it's US 69 Highway.
Excuse me.
But yes, 69 151st Freddie T's. It's a hole-in-the-wall bar that I used to frequent when I lived over there in Stanley. I loved it. Still wish I lived there. I love that house. I should have never sold it. But yeah, come hang out. My mom's gonna be there, sporting Buk and Bob from head to toe. So
you'll love her. You will love Bob's mom.
Yeah, but we're gonna have a
My
good
mom
time.
would be
We'd
there,
love
but
to meet
she's
you
in
guys.
Scotland right now. So
she's Scotland.
Yep, she's in Scotland with her sister. Yeah.
She's lucky.
Yep.
All right. So okay. All right. I got something else though that I want.
Okay.
Okay. Our good buddy Jeremy, who's been sending us voicemails.
We got a voicemail?
816-866-1066. If anybody ever wants to send us these, it's possible we play them on the show and your voice could actually be on the show.
We would love to hear a lot of your voices.
Yeah, so we've
heard enough of Brian's voice already. I'm just kidding, buddy.
We have a voicemail from him, and it's interesting. So,
okay.
And maybe a little crazy, but let's hear about.
Okay, guys, I know I don't have a lot of time. It's Jeremy here. But anyways, a few things I wanted to touch on, give you something to talk about, is Remigio. I think he's been the best punt returner we've had since Dante Hall. Might not be never as good, but he's great, and I think we need to give him real recognition. The fans need to realize that Remigio is really good on the punt return, and we need to keep that guy for a long time. Hopefully he can stay healthy. Number 2, Ravens went into that game.
Hold on. So,
okay.
Yeah, so
let's touch on number 1.
Yeah, I don't remember number 2, but number 1's what I wanted to touch on because it's crazy, right? It's I mean, we've had a lot of returners, but returning hasn't really been a thing for a long time.
Right. Yep. Yeah, it hasn't, and I've been pretty impressed with Remigio, and I do agree with you, Jeremy. For the most part, I love the addition to the team, and as long as he is, as long as he's succeeding and getting us a great field position, that's awesome. The problem is there are other guys on the team that are suited to do that, but are also able to, they're able to provide in other aspects of the game. You know, Noel Williams could be a returner. Brashard Smith could be a return guy. I know I'm missing some guys, but he's really got to keep this up to stay on the team, I think, because, another roster spot could be opened up for another guy that can produce on offense or defense. And sadly, Remigio just doesn't offer that to us. But for right now, I can't argue. If he keeps going the way that he's going, I think he's going to stay on this team. I think he's one of the better return guys in the NFL right now.
But what about him being related to Dante Hall? I mean,
related to Dante Hall?
No, just like relating
he's not Dante Hall. I mean, Dante Hall was another. He was another. I mean, he's one of the greatest to ever do it. You know, Deion Sanders, Dante Hall. Who was that guy in Chicago? Oh my God, his name.
Yeah, Toe Adam. Yeah, Toe Adam. Yeah, Chad will tell us in a second here.
Anyway, so like Remigio is not that guy. Devin Hester.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, that was going to drive me nuts. I wouldn't have been able to sleep tonight. I promise you. He's not that guy, but in this new era of football, we haven't seen a whole lot of that kind of talent yet. I think because that aspect has been removed from this game for so long, I think it's going to take a little bit of time to see that kind of guy. I just don't think Remigio's on that level. But I think he's a great return guy for our needs right now.
Yep, yeah. And I think he's pretty good, right? But I thought this was crazy. So I did some diving, right? And I was like, is Nico that great? So let's just look at kick return average. So we're looking at 26.7, right? Punt return average, 11.3. Should we write this down somewhere? Because I have multiple clips like...
let me open up.
So we'll put in. So Remigio has 20. This is this season out of 4 games, 26.7, 11.3.
All right, hold on.
So then, while you're doing that, I'm going to bring up Brashard Smith. Now, Brashard Smith hasn't returned any punts, but he's done kickoff returns. Okay, Remigio has 7. Smith has 7 also. Smith's average is 27.4. He hasn't done any punt returns though. Okay, but his average is higher after 7 than Nico's is. Okay, so we got that.
His longest is a little bit short.
Yep. But like basically the same type of kickoff return you're going to get from Nico also, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then I thought to myself, well, what did Nico do last year? Right? So I went and grabbed that. So I grabbed Nico's kick returns from last year and 26.8 average, right? Okay.
With a 36 long, yeah.
11 returns. He came in towards the end of the season. Okay. So then I looked at punt returns.
Thank you. Because I think he was better at the punt returns.
So I looked at 2024 punt returns. He did. Oh, wait. Hold on. Oh, I added kick returns twice. Hold on. Live shows.
I know. I hate it.
So Nico punt returns. So he had 11 of those also, but a 9.5 average, which is lower than his average this year. It's a little over. It's like 10 or 11, right?
It's 11.3, I think. Yeah.
So then I thought to myself, well, let's check out McCole Hardman's 2024 stats in both kick and punt return, right?
Okay.
And then I got punt return. 20 of them, 10.2 average. Kick return, 5 of them, 26.4 average. About the same, right? Like about the same across the board so far at everybody we've looked at, right?
Yeah, very, very similar.
That's weird, right? That's weird as shit.
But I think Remigio's punt returns were more of a timely thing. You know, his bigger return, because an average, you've got some high, you've got some low. I think the timing of his better punt returns were in crucial moments. I don't have anything to back that up. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm right. Remigio is definitely the clear winner here. I just my memory just I remember some of his returns, and it sparked the team, and it was in times that we absolutely needed that spark to come alive. I'm not saying that Mecole Hardman couldn't do the same job. Brashard Smith, I honestly would kind of like to see Brashard Smith in that role because of his elusiveness and his speed. It wouldn't hurt my feelings.
So now, or the bombshell.
Oh, okay, all right.
Because I was doing this research and I was like, and I had just flushed the Dante Hall thing to the back of my head. Was like, that's just silly. But I was like, but I need to do my due diligence and look into Dante Hall's stats. So this is gonna blow your effing mind. Hold up Dante Hall's stats across punt returns and kick returns for his entire career. 426 kick returns, 216 punt returns. Look at the average.
Yeah, but
look at the averages.
You're talking average. Look at the long, though. I mean, that's a way
and look at
long.
the TDs. But those longs just tell you that helped the kick return average out a ton. So
it did, but it was a different.
This blew my freaking mind. This is unreal. The only difference between Mecole Hardman, Brashard Smith, Nico Remigio is TDs. That's it. Everything else,
a big difference.
But it's really not. If you just think of 6 and 6, like this blew my mind. I was like, I almost didn't even like look into this voicemail because I was like, this is a silly thing to say. Dante Hall's one of the best that ever lived. But then I actually looked into the stats. I'm smart that I did because I actually realized, wow, it was just 12 different times out of 426 out of 642 total returns, 12 made Dante Hall. 12 of those 642 plays made Dante Hall a legend.
I think he's second.
Isn't that crazy?
To Devin Hester, though. Yeah, it is crazy when you're looking at that, man. But I don't care what you say. Dante Hall is still the best return guy to ever play for the Kansas City Chiefs and one of the top 5 to ever play in the NFL.
Yeah, and I would have told you that too. But stats tell me a different story. Unfortunately, it's absolutely nuts. Now, it wasn't a different time of different types of returns.
Absolutely it was. Yes.
But the punts are the same, and they're the same average, 10.5. So,
but they're also not getting yards. So if they kick it 9 yards deep and they return it to the 10, they don't get 19 yards. They got 10 yards. Because they're not actually gaining yards until they came out of the end zone, right? Pretty sure. I could be wrong about that, but I don't think they got yards for that.
No, because you could get over over 100-yard return.
But remember, okay, so I wish I'd have known this conversation was coming up because I would have made a video of that famous punt return against the Denver Broncos where he caught it on the 5 and had to go backwards and forwards. I mean, he went back to the 1 or 2 yard line and then ended up clearing the whole field.
Well, I didn't tell you because I wanted you to have like jaw-dropping realization that I did when I was looking these stats up and I was like, Jeremy, I love you, bro, but you're crazy. But then I was like, holy crap, Jeremy's onto something here. Like, it's absolutely mind blowing to me. And I wanted you to be, I didn't want you to be like, I wanted to see your reaction to be like, oh, wow. Cause it's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. So we've got some good returners, like as far as averages go. If they can take it to the house, I mean, I think the averages tell us that they can take it to the house. You know, and honestly, I'd say kick and punt returns are harder now than they were in Dante Hall's days. I think teams are more ready and give up TDs way less.
Yeah, I think we've seen a few TDs though this season already, which is weird. We've seen a bunch of weird fluky shit this season. The field goals and the extra points getting blocked and the punts getting blocked. It's insane. You think that something has changed. I know you do. I know your mind. You've said it.
I've said it multiple times. Something's weird.
I think it's just an anomaly. Something's in the punch this year.
The punt and kick blocks is out of control, and I don't know why.
It really is. Yeah.
I have no idea, but something is weird. Something is really weird. It's like they learned the tush push strategy of like starting early or something. I don't know what it is. Like, it's something, or in the way that they snap the ball, like they're allowed to start earlier. It's been unreal the amount of blocks we have seen so far. But I really thought this was cool, Jeremy. It was really cool that you sent this in because it did really spark me to dive deep and look into like these different types of stats and just be like, wow, I remember that way differently. Like, I don't like, you would think with the 6 TDs, like, it would change the average, but there must have been a lot of times that Dante didn't get anything. And that could have been because of his Barry Sanders type of style, where he'll run backwards a bit, to get a jump on something. Like, that was something he was great at. But maybe there's times I'm forgetting that he didn't, he took a loss, and stuff like that. But I just thought it was interesting that the averages are about the same and the kick return averages are higher, but the kick return is completely different from when Dante Hall played. So
let's do a little comparison between Dante and Devin Hester then. Would you say that Devin Hester is known as the better return guy? In your opinion, would you think that he's the
that's
better
what a lot
guy?
of people's opinion is, but
okay.
I'm always going with the human joystick from eye test memory and my Chiefs bias,
Okay, that's fair. But let me go ahead and pull something up here.
All right.
So this is why did it not pull up? I don't know
because Dante Halls is still up.
Yeah.
Oh, it didn't put it in the. Did you make it a file? You have to add the image file.
Thought I did.
Okay, well, I'll go ahead and remove
There
this.
we go.
There we go.
So this is Devin Hester. Oh no, that is not Devin Hester. So I pulled up the wrong one. Come on now.
Hey now, don't trust Buck to use a computer now.
Here we go. This is Devin Hester, 27.6 yards per return, 5 kickoff return touchdowns, punt returns 11.7, very similar.
But
14 touchdowns.
Jesus,
This
I didn't
is
even
what
remember
separates
that.
the greats, and I don't believe that we'll ever see anything even close to Dante Hall numbers or even Devin Hester numbers from Remigio. I just don't think so. I think that potential could be there for Brashard Smith, the way that he runs. He could be if if they decide to have him focus on that. But I think Remigio is a strong placeholder for that position at kick and punt returner right now, and he hasn't done anything to lose that job. But I don't think it. I would be hard pressed to believe that too many people listening right now would say that Remigio and Dante Hall are very similar. I think the difference is touchdowns.
Yeah,
and it's a big difference.
I think I can agree with that. Witchy points out that the sheer number of returns skews. What theory does it skew? The TD. It kind of skews everything because it's just a much bigger sample size,
right?
But I threw in the sample sizes for 2024. I looked at those sample sizes too, not just the first 4. But yeah, I think I think you're right at what separates the greats is hitting it home and getting the actual final blow. I will agree with you on that. But I was blown away, and I wanted to share it with everybody because
That was
it blew
alarming.
me away that the averages were so close. Like, it just absolutely blew me out of the water, and wasn't something I was expecting. So that's why I love those types of voicemails. And so you did it again, Jeremy. Thank you for the voicemail,
you, buddy. Yeah, thank you so much. We appreciate you so much, and we would appreciate any one of you watching live right now if you were to do the same thing. Doesn't even have to be a question. You could just call in and say, "Hey, just wanted you to hear my voice," because we want to hear your voice.
But we probably won't play that on the show. You probably should have a good question. Like, one of the things is come with a question. If you come with like your thoughts, most likely we're not going to play it. I'm just saying, like, that's just kind of the way it is. But since Jeremy had such a good question, I'm going to go and play the rest of that voicemail really quick and see what he had to say. I forget this part because I think I just immediately started researching when I was listening, so I don't remember this part of it.
Lamar expected to win that game against the Chiefs, and they never knew what hit them. I mean, Derrick Henry, Hopkins is on that team now. Lamar, all three of those guys are really good. Ravens defense used to be really good. They don't know what hit them. This has been the best Chiefs defense and offense, I think, since last year playing Buffalo. Last time I seen these guys play hard like this was against Buffalo last year when we shut the push down. And thank God for that. We need to do the same thing to the Eagles, shut that shit down. And hopefully we will this year. So in our division, I want to know what you guys think, if we're going to be top dog this year, or is it going to be the Chargers or Broncos? What do you guys think about that? Go Chiefs!
Yeah, the one part there. Okay. What was it? It was
against Buffalo last year when we shut the push down.
That right there. We didn't shut the push tush down, and it's the tush push, not the push tush, or it's the touch butts. We'll go with the touch butts or the tickle butt or anything pansy you can come up with. We
or the brotherly love. I mean shove. Sorry.
Yeah, the brotherly poke. Well, okay, but yeah, we'll go with anything pansy because it's a pansy play. But no, Josh did not run the tush push. Josh, unfortunately, had nobody pushing his tush. I think he had like one guy behind him, like one guy kind of barely pushing his tush. But Josh likes his tush, not touched by dudes. So that's kind of probably the difference between him and Jalen. So. Yeah, so it was a weird version, but it was more of a quarterback sneak. It wasn't the tush push. The tush push has three guys touching Jalen's butt, and Jalen's going, do it again. And so that's the difference. But as far as like full complete team, yeah, no, I disagree with you. I think we haven't seen this since 2023. Like we didn't see it at all in 2024. This was I think this might have been the best Chiefs offense and defense together game that I've seen in years. Like, I can't even think of one that I could say, because we used to have such a bad defense when Mahomes came in first. I don't know that we've ever played such a complete game. And honestly, it would have looked a lot worse if Andy would have kept the defensive starters in. He put in all the backups and let them score a big old TD at the end, which we didn't have to do.
Which made it look a lot closer than it was.
Yeah, that game was 37-13. Like, that was the game. And so, yeah, it was unbelievable. We were excited about it. But, yeah, we didn't stop the tush push because it wasn't a tush push. It was.
He asked if the Chiefs are going to win the division. How do you
honestly,
feel about that?
I think we have a very good chance if we can go and we can beat the Jags even if we lose to the Lions, I think we still can go as long as we run the table past that. Like, I think, and I mean, the Commanders, I don't know when their starting QB is going to come back. I don't know if it's before or after we play them, but I mean, I'm not really
Buffalo in the regular season. That's
Mariota.
a rough game.
Buffalo, like, if we can beat one of the Buffalo or Lions,
Mm-hmm.
I think we do win the division. But
yeah, I really like, and this was exactly my thought, Salty. The Chargers are going to charger. Right now, with Omari and Hampton, they're looking really, really strong. The Broncos are shaky, but they've got a really, really tough defense, so they could always do some things. But if the Chiefs continue to play the way they played last week, then I think this season could absolutely be the AFC West, number one in the AFC West again. I don't have any doubts. Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, and Spags, this team is running. What does Witchy say? Excuse me, under center is way more intimate than the push. LOL. Quarterback rubbing on the center's taint.
Bow, bow, bow. I've been feeling
you can't argue with that,
baby.
That's
You know what Eli Manning said after his career on some interview that I watched? He was like, dude, the ball slipped out a lot because he said his center's name. I can't remember it, but he was like, so-and-so just had the sweatiest crotch. And it
horrible.
was always just all over my hands. And I had to constantly be putting stuff on to like dry my hands out. And it was just horrible.
You know, the off season, he went up to the office and he was like, "Hey man, can you trade this guy?" And they're like, "What's wrong, man? You guys just not vibing?" No,
He's
man,
got a sweaty
great.
tape.
He's just got really sweaty balls, man. Can we get somebody that sweats a little bit less?
Oh man. Yeah, that's always been a little funny part of football. Let's just be there. But, you know, Jalen Hurts takes it to the next level. Yeah, I was actually going to talk to you about this, Buck. We had a Facebook post go like kind of viral about the tush push, and we're talking almost 1,000 crazy Eagles fans. And if you wanted to do a late night after your daughter goes to sleep tomorrow night, members only stream, we could do a thing where we read their comments on it, because Facebook doesn't show me like what goes big and what doesn't. Like, it's a really horrible platform. But I just realized we had like 1,000 comments on this one short about the tush push, and it was all Eagles fans. So we could do a Eagles fans are crazy members stream if we wanted to. I don't know. We'll talk about it after. We'll see if that's something we want to do. But we could also do it some other time too, because those comments will still be there. But I was writing back to some of them. I was like, "You all are freaking crazy. You literally are crazy." I mean, it cracked me up. Like, there was this girl, her profile pic was her holding a baby, and whoever the daddy is was in the picture going, "Yeah," and she's from Philly, and she writes, KC men fans sit down to pee," and I was like, "Wow, that's the type of people you have there, huh?" Like, you wouldn't be happy if your man sat down to pee? I bet you fucking would. Oh, it cracked me up. Oh, I just let the F-bomb go, but it's late in the broadcast. It's good. But yeah, there's so many good ones. And then, dude, there's a bunch of them that call either you or me fat. And every single one of them that does
offended.
That does that, like, they have some stupid profile picture. Like, one of them was a Super Mario Goomba was his profile picture. I was like, "Yeah, calling us fat. You have a picture of a Goomba on your profile picture." Then one was a Trump picture, and one was a Biden picture, and one was like, dude, it was just like, okay, you guys obviously don't have the balls to show your face, so you're probably 300 pounds. So, yeah, suck it. We don't give a shit. Like, it was just so funny. But I think we should definitely do it because the comments are unbelievably funny.
Sorry, Witchy. We'll take that off.
Oh,
That's
man.
funny. That's funny. That actually, and we're not going to go into it, but that actually reminds me of that funny story when we went to that show last year with your cousin. We were outside in the smokers area.
Oh, yep. And the Luigi,
we can tell that
right?
on the live stream. Yeah, we can tell that on the live stream.
Luigi.
Or on the on members only. Yeah.
I took some stuff. Is Luigi really sitting there?
Is there a guy dressed as Luigi standing right there? I'm like, yeah, buddy, you're good. And he's like, okay. And he's just sweating, and it was like 68 degrees outside. His eyes were like this.
That is good stuff. All right.
It was awesome.
We only have a few more minutes, but I wanted to play this real quick because this is something that people might not. I don't know. It's something we don't talk about on the show much, but I'll go ahead and just play it.
Hey, everybody. It's Jeremy here. I got kind of a crazy thing to share with you guys, and it's just a question. It's not really anything about the games, the way they play or anything. But anywho, sometimes I bet on the Chiefs to win games, and these are small bets, not like a whole lot of money. So like here and there, it's like $20, and 40, stuff like that. In you guys' opinion, do you think that it's crazy to bet on your team when you believe in them to win games, or do you guys agree with betting? Or I just want you guys' opinion on this. It's a crazy question to ask, I know that, but I just want to see what you guys think about that. I wish I would have bet on them every year last year, but I promised my girlfriend I wouldn't bet anymore, so I didn't bet on them last year. But thinking about betting on them this year, and I'm trying to get a bet going on the Ravens right now against them, and I think we'll be all right against the Ravens. It'll be tough, but I think we can handle them. Just let me know what you guys think, and you too, Mel. Appreciate you guys' time. Go Chiefs!
I think if you got that bet in, that you did really well.
Yeah, those are my two thoughts right off the bat is I hope you bet on the Chiefs for the Ravens game. And then the second bet is, did you promise your girlfriend last year that you just wouldn't bet on the Chiefs this year? And so that's open the next year? Like, you're like, but I'm thinking about doing it this year. Did you promise? Like, was there a statute of limitations on your promise there? Like, what was the deal there? But yeah, I thought we should talk about gambling and like where we stand on it.
Yeah, you want to go first? You want me to go first?
I could go, or you can go whichever one.
Yeah,
so I don't gamble myself. I'm a very addictive personality. Like, if I gamble, it's for small potatoes. Like I play golf with my dad. We play a quarter a hole, and I like the competition, but I don't like, like it's never going to make or break me, and like it's never going to be a problem. Like when I first went to casinos, and I don't do it anymore, but like a bunch of my friends loved to do it in our 20s. So I'd go. But I'd go with $25. I'd play blackjack on a $5 table. If I lost the $25, I'd be done, and then I'd just watch my buddies play, lose or win, right? And then if I kept making money, like if I got up to $60, I'd put the $25 back in my pocket and be like, "Well, I'm leaving with what I came with," and then I would just go. So, but I've never been a fan of, for myself, like there's no way I'm gonna just bet a huge amount of money on a game and either get a whole bunch for it or lose a whole bunch for it. Like I'm just not. That's just not me. But I don't dislike anybody who gambles. I think it's fine. I have a bunch of friends that gamble, and I'm cool with it. If you want to gamble, you're an adult. You can do that. I just don't do it personally. But, you'll see in our short form videos, we put the betting lines in. We actually had it for this episode. We just didn't talk about it, but we had it in our notes. Like, I'll put that in because that is important to a lot of people. And just because it's not important to me doesn't mean I'm not going to tell other people the odds in them stuff. And that's where I'm at. I don't have a problem with it, but I don't really do it much. And if I do it, I'm going to bet you dinner, or I'm going to bet you a beer, or I'm going to bet you something that's small to me, and that's all I'm ever going to bet. Like I said earlier tonight that I'd bet $100 on like the Tyreek Hill thing, and I would, but I'd only bet one person $100, and like, it's just, I feel really strongly about it, but I normally would not bet. It's just, that was just me trying to kind of point out, if you knew me, that I was really confident Tyreek was never going to come back and be anything even close to what he's been ever again. And so I didn't actually take the bet. I was just saying I would bet, but I don't know that I actually would. Let's just put it that way.
See, I'm a little bit similar in the fact that I have an addictive personality as well, and I could definitely see if I was in a different financial situation where I could get sucked into that. It's something that I had considered a few years ago. I kind of like the idea that you go into a season with whatever you're willing to bet for the season, and then you kind of make smart gambles little bit by little bit, right?
Which is kind of like what I was talking about going to the casino.
If you start winning, cool, then you're doing good. If you lose it, then you're done and you're not out of it. I don't have a problem with anybody's betting, honestly. I probably wouldn't lie to my partner about it, but if it's $20, and I mean, you can honestly explain that away because you went to the corner bar one weekend and
that's
you spent $20
McDonald's
on beer.
now.
Yeah. I mean it's not the biggest thing in the world. Have fun. It brings another aspect to make the games interesting, to make it more fun to watch, kind of like what fantasy football does for us. And fantasy football, that's another form of gambling, isn't it? We put a little bit in, and we just expect that that's just an investment for a season of entertainment, right?
Exactly.
I get to talk to you guys and have fun. And hey, if I win, I get some money back at the end of the season. That's awesome. But I don't go into it expecting to win. I go into it expecting to take the experience for what it is and interact. I mean, in our fantasy league, we're all talking all day Sunday, usually a little bit on Saturday. There's not a lot of talk during the week, but it's fun. It brings another reason to stay engaged with the game of football or whatever sport it is that you choose to bet on. So, I mean, it's gamble and have fun, but be responsible for your situation.
Yeah, it's just like when I would go, I like now if I went to the casino, I'd probably be more like, okay, with my current situation, I'd probably be more like, all right, I'm going in with $100. You know what I mean? But when I went in my 20s, it was $25 because that was what I could do. And I was basically saying, okay, this is like I went to a movie and bought a popcorn and a Coke.
Spent the money.
Yeah, like it's entertainment and entertainment value hours first. So if I lost it quick, I still got entertainment watching my other buddies, gamble and stuff. And then when they were ready to go, we'd go. And that's where I think betting is healthy, is where there's a budget, and it's a budget set based on what you would have done for the entertainment regardless on the outside, so that's where I think it's good. I think it's very bad when people turn it into, I just if I hit on this bet, like I'm gonna have rent for next week. But if you don't, and you're not gonna have rent, like that's a problem. That is a problem. And like I don't know what the number is, but 1-800-GAMBLING I think is what it is. But like that's something that's not, I don't agree with. But you do, like I'm not here to judge you, but I think it's a dangerous road to take. and with a lot of highs and a lot of really lows, but yeah, that's kind of where we're at. I don't hate on it like a lot of people do. Like we have it set to where we'll do gambling ads on our YouTube channel, and you're you. I'm not here to judge you. I'm here to give you a show, and that's it. Like I'm not here to talk politics, to talk religion, to talk any of that other bullshit. I'm here to talk Chiefs, and you do you. So gambling,
have fun.
You gotta do what you want to do, and
it should be a commercial.
And if you have a problem, seek help because it can ruin you.
I will say, based on that voicemail, though, if you're doing the $20-$40 and you're just doing it every once in a while type thing, you're good, man.
Just make sure you talk to your girl because she might have thought that was forever binding, rather than just a season binding.
And I wonder if she knows like how much also, like if he just told her, I put a gamble on the game, and maybe she thinks it's $250 or it could have been $1,000, if she knows it's just $20, maybe she wouldn't mind so much.
Unless she wanted breakfast that morning. I'm
the last person to give relationship advice, though, because I'm a single man.
So, Salty Veteran says he plays fantasy for free. See, I like fantasy for free, but the problem is people just leave,
Yes. Once they start losing, they leave. Or they stay and they never change the guys on their team. It's literally the same lineup every week, even during bye weeks.
Yeah,
and we've even set our league up so that the better you do, the better you're going to have it the next year. There's all kinds of things to try to promote not getting last place. That sucks when you got a guy that just obviously isn't playing anymore. It's no fun. It makes the thing not as fun. I don't have another word for it, but we try to keep those things in mind, and we, Bob has run fantasy for 20 some years, not the entire time, but
yeah, it took like a 5-year break, but I'm back at it.
He's got a lot of ideas and ways to keep the league going and keep it fresh and keep it interesting. So if anybody wants advice, I'm sure Bob would love to tell you some secrets on how to keep your league active.
Heck yeah, I would. So the first thing, and there's many things. The first thing you need to do to keep it spicy